At the Palmetto State Shootout, the Georgia Southern Eagles pick up a win on Thanksgiving weekend, 84-80, the final 4 points separation in a game, Phil Cox, that was really nip and tuck right down to the wire. A couple of good possessions late, and then free throws made, a Georgia Southern win.
And Georgia Southern did what they had to do going down the stretch, making their foul shots. We talked about this being a young basketball team, but they grew up today, learned some things about themselves, but take nothing away from what Upstate did. Spartans continuing to mature, Jason, seeing it game to game. Upstate's crew starting to get more and more mature.
Let's take a look at the highlights from this contest. You'll see a whole lot of outside shooting early.
That's what the first half was all about. A lot going in from the perimeter, guys coming off the bench for Georgia Southern. Jake Allsmiller doing the job from beyond the arc, but Deion Holmes was especially seeing the corner, the very quick release for the freshman out of Chesney, South Carolina. Mike Cunningham got into it, and then Cuthbertson got into the shooting act. They were all going in the first half.
Holmes ends up leading all scorers with 22 points on the night, including 8 for 8 from the free throw line and 4 3-pointers of his own. 14 threes in the game for Georgia Southern, 11 for Upstate, both teams shooting at right around 50% from beyond the arc. But late, this is what we saw, Phil, a Georgia Southern team that turned up the defensive intensity.
They were able to get behind Upstate a couple of times offensively, but you're right. Defensively, they were very, very good. Did what they had to do on both sides of the ball. Chase down loose balls, were tough. And just played the entire 40 minutes. Not an easy place to get a win here in the Hodge, and beat a hungry USC Upstate team, no question.
On the offensive end, 4 different players in double figures on both teams. And you look at some of the final numbers here. Of course, Smith and Allsmiller, the guys that are highlighted alongside of Holmes on the Georgia Southern side, with Holmes on the Upstate side of things. But a high-scoring first half, and then a Georgia Southern dominated stretch run.
Yeah, they really down the stretch, very, very good, scoring in a lot of different ways. You mentioned multiple guys in double figures, one of those team wins that Mark Byington has to really like how his team played down the stretch, executed and gave the effort. When you have execution and effort, when you marry those two together, that's going to be successful a lot of times for you.
The Palmetto State Shootout will continue here inside the Hodge Center. We'll have a 2 o'clock tip tomorrow between the Citadel and the host Upstate Spartans. Thanks again for tuning in. The ESPN3 broadcast of Georgia Southern and the Upstate Spartans. And we'll see you next time with basketball from inside the Hodge Center. It's Georgia Southern, a winner by 4 tonight.